Hello, Seattle. My name is Kylo Quinn. I play in Portugal the Man. I was supposedly it's like a good morning thing, but I'm not quite sure this is what anybody would uh, describe as a good morning. First, I just want to take a second for George Floyd, and I also want to wish Breonna Taylor a happy birthday. She would have been 27 last week, and all of us know that there's a lot of people besides George Floyd and Breonna Taylor whose names we don't know that have been murdered, and I want to dedicate the piece I'm going to play. I want to extend that to all of them as well. I'm super happy the stranger asked me to play. Way back when, way back when my hair was still brown. Back when I was like the first piano guy at the stranger silent reading thing we would do at the Sorrento, and I'll never forget that Lynn Shelton's like one of the first guests, and I'm like young, like aspiring film composer, and she's like Lynn Shelton. I just never forget it. I remember being really nervous, and I want to dedicate this piece to her as well, especially in times like now. We really need people like her. She was most definitely a doer, action. It's like my family goes back 4 generations in Seattle. It's like my great grandpa used to like drink at the Sorrento where we would do the silent reading and at Vito's, and he would show me all the secret knocks during Prohibition for like the speakeasies, in the alleys behind Pike and Second. And man, I love this city. Oh, by the way, hey, Charles Mudeta, he used to be my neighbor, and I'm so sorry, dude. I used to play piano, actually this one, like 5 to 8 hours a day, probably like 300 days a year. I extend that to all of the fifth floor of DeShio Kaplan, actually, and whoever lived in 411 beneath me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Because like the people of Seattle, most definitely, I feel like made me not like just the musician who I am, but just who I am. I want to give a shout out my grandma, 90 years old, Rita Lawson, up in Ballard. She is just the coolest. She's 90 years old. She's like clearer than me up here. I mean, granted, I probably smoke more weed than her. But like, I talked to her like 5 weeks into quarantine, and she said she already read 33 books. I was like, excuse me? Honestly, we could probably all learn more probably listening to her talk right now. But unfortunately, you're stuck with my dumbass. But any redeeming qualities that I have left, most definitely, that's the source. But music today, I'm going to play Reverie by Claude Debussy. And I mean, just like Lynn Shelton, Claude was an innovator. He was a leader. He was somebody who inspired others. And he left a giant body of work behind that has just continued to inspire people to make things. And so like before Chopin, or after Chopin, since Chopin, nobody came. Debussy was the first one that just made us see the piano differently. Like actually all of music. And like 1894, he wrote what would be considered the first piece of modern music. Yes, I mean, without Debussy, I mean, music wouldn't be what it is today. I mean, we wouldn't have jazz. I mean, he had a complete paradigm shift on. It wasn't just what we saw, like the way we saw music. It was more importantly like what it could be. It just opened up all of these possibilities, and I hope in some way that the correlation between the movement that he did for music is the kind of movement right now that we can make happen in our culture, which we need, which is about justice, and it's about change. So I invite you just to step into another world, step into Debussy's world. I hope it brings any kind of small relief during this revolution. And again, I want to dedicate this piece to Lynn Shelton, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, everybody else whose names we never heard. I hope in some small way this can make your day today just a little bit better. Love you guys, Seattle.